trying, but this happened for the very first time. And one time, I remember, I think all of you one time Prabhu was supposed to schedule a class, class was scheduled, we made an announcement, we made all arrangements, everything. And then just on the morning of the class, early morning, Prabhu called me that time one devotee was very sick in Bokaro, Shantu, Dayal, he was very, very sick in hospital. So I had to just rush immediately there. So that time also it couldn't happen. But today, finally, Naam is here. I'm feeling so happy. Rio! So I'll give a brief introduction. How many of you first time seeing Naam some first time seeing Naam How many of you have heard from Naam before? Some of you. How many of you have seen him but never heard from him? All combinations are there. So, I'll briefly introduce Prabhu. So Naam concluded his BTech from NIT Jamshedpur. And in 2004 he took admission there. I also took admission in 2004 in NIT Jamshedpur. Prabhu was in NIT Jamshedpur. So from batch wise, we were together. But he came in Krishna consciousness in 2004. I came in 2006. That way, Prabhu is very dear, senior, and also my very close friend. Combined together, he came 2 years before me in Krishna consciousness, and I came there. But he has been very much inspiring. So since Jamshedpur days, also I remember Jamshedpur has a special schedule that many times there is a lot of mass bunk. For one month they have bunk. So sometimes I don't know now it happens. Now also no, it doesn't happen. Those days it used to happen. So Naam Prabhu and the whole team, of Jamshedpur would come to Kharagpur and they'll stay in Kharagpur for 1 month or like that. So that way we developed friendship with Prabhu since Jamshedpur days, and then Prabhu used to come here. And then later on, Prabhu, after completing his graduation, he did job in BOC, British
Oxygen Company.
British Oxygen Company. British Oxygen Company. It was very dynamic job. So while doing that job, although he was in job in different places, he was always engaged in preaching mission of the Lord, right? And especially he went to Raurkela and during that job period, and in Raurkela voice, this was at that time very, very in primitive state. He did such massive preaching while doing job. This is the activity while doing job, and he really uplifted Raurkela, and now Raurkela voice is flourishing. Since that time, flourishing very powerfully. Later on, while he was doing job one fine day, maybe he will tell the whole story also, probably. So he is so dedicated and so committed to pleasing and serving Acharya Ratna Prabhu that when Acharya Prabhu asked him, to completely leave his job and come to temple to start a new initiative that is Partha Coaching Institute. Devo. So Prabhu is the pioneer, the first person, the first director of Partha. There was a coaching institute. Now I have to say was because it is not gone. But when Naam took it up, it really from beginning, from scratch, he built it and made a very powerful institute. Because of his complete dedication and commitment to serving the devotees. So he sacrificed his job and took a risk. It was a risk, and he had so much commitment for his family, so much to do, but still he took that risk and he came to this Partha, and he established Partha, grew it, made it into big, and then came when Partha became really big. After that, he left Partha. So he was like, he would make things big, and then after that he'll come to the next project. And then Partha kept growing, and after at some point of time, because of some reasons, today it's not there. But he was the one who inspired, and that particular thing continued in Myanmar also. Later on, he took services in Annamrit, distributing food to the schools, and later on he started wonderful preaching in IIST Shivpur. Our Yogesh Verma Prabhu is actually brought to Krishna consciousness by Naam Prabhu and also nourished by Naam Prabhu. Devo. And many devotees have come by Yogeshwar Mahaprabhu's place. Yeah. And so after that, while he was in IC, Shivpur, he did a wonderful preaching, very wonderful devotees, very sincere devotees. In 2018, uh, he got a bigger responsibility, that is to take up the temple president of Dhanbad. But at that time it was ISKCON Dhanbad, the only temple president with no resident. And so he was, only that he was a lone person to go to Dhanbad and to start everything from the scratch, completely from the scratch. So like same thing with IST Shivpur also. It was like nothing was there. He built it up. When everything became very nice, then he went to Dhanbad. And then, but from the very scratch, he started everything, and from literally from nothing, we started everything. And now there is a very beautiful land, beautiful, huge temple is coming up in Dhanbad. And more important than that is the type of devotees, the committed devotees I see in Dhanbad is so inspiring to me. All of you must be seeing every time DP camp, all these devotees come. The kind of devotion, dedication, enthusiasm for Harinam Sankirtan, for everything. Just by seeing all of them, you can understand what kind of things Sankirtan has been inspiring in all of their hearts. So it's very, very inspiring to see. And also the kind of youth preaching, the number of youth preaching also. You can see the Karsha camp that everywhere, DP camp. Literally in DP camp, more than 50% is Dhanbad and 50% is all the other colleges combined together. So very, very dynamic personality. And also he is inspiring and but so many devotees to take up brahmachari ashram. So many brahmacharis are inspired by him. And he himself is a highly dedicated grahastha. So not only is inspiring brahmacharis, inspiring grahasthas to also completely dedicate their life. So very, very powerful, dynamic personality, very loving and caring. And he is also one practically most of the devotees who play Naringa in our temple, whether in Swanyota or in Kharagpur, is all inspired and taught by him. He is the original Naringa teacher. Like our Jain Ram Prabhu is also learned Naringa from Naam Prabhu. And so many devotees. And in Dhanbad, you can see the Naringa players. They're like top class players, all trained by Naam Prabhu personally. So it's very important because Radha Shankar prefers like very few devotees can play Nalanda when Radha Shankar sings because he is very specific choice. So one of them is very very dear is Prabhu. Devo. Prabhu is very dear to Radha Shankar for his such inspiring preaching in Dhanbad. Whenever Radha Shankar goes to Dhanbad, he is told us so much. Last time Radha Shankar came to Kharagpur from Dhanbad, and as he landed in from train, as soon as I first met, immediately started purifying Dhanbad. First thing he was telling me what preaching now from Thursday, what kind of road is bringing. I needed a program for the director. Now in Dhanbad, they are cultivating director, and the director himself is invited Naam Prabhu, and he Naam Prabhu personally gives course in IIT Kharagpur. Sorry, IIT Dhanbad. Revo. Himself is a teacher in IIT Dhanbad, and director himself, learns from Naam Prabhu. Revo. Such kind of thing. Karsha, all of you know, is organized by his team. Whole entire Mayapur summer camp is Dhanbad team, all inspired by Naam Prabhu. And his powerful preaching strategies, he personally taught me a lot of preaching for days and days when I was taking up IEST ship for while he was in the Dhanbad. And recently, I was so inspired and we were not having good preaching. So recently, they are going to for your information. They are going to give a seminar and class to all our preachers here that how to do preaching. So originally coming from Naam Prabhu, so original person is here. We got to hear from Parampara, from where I'm coming from. So many more things. I can go on speaking maybe for 1 more hour, but if I do that, then we'll not get to hear from him. So also my very dear friend, I feel such heart-to-heart connection with him because of our services together. In the very difficult times in IWF, we have been serving in ISKCON Calcutta together. And although he went to Dhanbad, his heart is in ISKCON Newtown only. He's very, very committed to ISKCON Newtown and he's developing many things. I didn't told about his official positions. He's also regional secretary assistant. It is he is of Dhanbad and entire Jharkhand, right?
Half of the Jharkhand. Half of the Jharkhand.
Half of the Jharkhand. Half of the Jharkhand is the RSA. RSA means it's like GDC is the topmost position. The next position to GDC, who assists GDC, is RSA. And RSA is the more active GDC than GDC actually. So RSA is the main person, you can say. GDCs don't have so much time. But RSA actually manage and organize and supervise the whole thing. So he is a RSA for half of the Jharkhand. That means developing and whole responsibility. It's above temple president. Temple president report to RSA. So it's a very special position. Naam Prabhu. Rio. So he is for Jharkhand. He is also in charge for developing the entire youth preaching. He is also chairman for entire in East India Division Youth. The whole development. He is the chairman for that. He organizes many events for youth preachers for entire East India zone. In Mayapur and many places. Also, he is AIDC member and then many official responsibilities he has. He was the one involved in very toughest case in Patna happened. And then he was one of the members to investigate. So he has many responsibilities I can. But more than that, he is my very heartfelt friend. Although he has such managerial role, he is very down to earth, very loving, very caring, very kind to everyone. So I think I can go on for one more long time. I should end here so that we can hear from him. And because as he is such a dedicated devotee, such a dedicated in his personal life, so I requested him to speak on dedication so that all of us can also learn to become a sincere, dedicated devotee. Whether brahmachari or grasta, that's no, that doesn't matter. That's why seeing him we can understand. It really doesn't matter because being a grasta, he is doing much more than sannyasis and brahmacharis because it doesn't matter. These positions doesn't matter. What matters is one's dedication in the heart. Another one more first ask me. That another thing is that we both of us very close relationship because of one thing. Because he is very amazing dedication and commitment to please Acharya Ratna. I can tell you, and Radhesham. So because he has such dedication and I also have the same mission. So in that way we have similar missions. In that way we become very close to each other. When we have same mission in life, then naturally we become very close. So in that way I'm very grateful. And I'm grateful has finally come. Very close friend of mine. And to this voice, let us heartily welcome Naam Prabhu. By 3 times loudly chanting. Let's raise Naam Prabhu ki.
Hare Krishna. You have taken half of my time. Now it's my turn to glorify you. Another half will go in that. I'm very grateful to all of you, especially Nimayanand, for inviting me over here. Nimayanand Bro is a true Vaishnava. He knows the art of pleasing devotees, respecting devotees. He knows the etiquettes, the most important part. You know? Etiquettes are the ornaments of Vaishnava. And Prabhuji is very expert in caring devotees. He himself is such a loving. In my last 19, 20 years of his association, I've never ever seen him becoming angry. Have you ever seen? I don't know. You might have experience. But even if he becomes angry, it appears as if he is showering flowers. You know. So he doesn't know only what is anger. He's a true Vaishnava. Wonderful devotee. And I'm really controlled by his love and devotion. So I'm here today. Otherwise, I was not having any plan to come here. But Prabhuji pushed me so much, so I thought, okay, for the pleasure of Nimayanand, I'll come. Prabhuji himself is a very accomplished preacher. And as you know, Vaishnavas have a tendency, to exaggerate the qualities of devotee and speak. So whatever he spoke, don't take it so seriously. You can make it half, 50% of that. Maybe some of the things are true in that, but not all. Devotees have a tendency to glorify other devotees. So, thank you, Nimanand, for giving me an opportunity and giving me an opportunity to remind myself to be dedicated. Harshila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. So, we'll just start with small prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurun Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam साधवैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नम ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देव्यै गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरतसे नमः हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगे राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमः वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे कृष्णा. We'll read from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 24th chapter, and 13th verse. You all can open 3.24.13. 3rd canto, 24th chapter, 13th verse. Please repeat with me. एतावत्यैव शुश्रूषा आर्यापीतरिपुत्रकैः बाढम् इति अनुमन्येता गौरवेण गुरोर्वचः एतावत्यैव शुश्रूषा आर्यापीतरिपुत्रकैः बाढम् इति अनुमन्येता गौरवेण गुरोर्वचः एतावत्यैव शुश्रूषा आर्यापीतरिपुत्रकैः बाढम् इति अनुमन्येता गौरवेण गुरोर्वचः. Somebody would like to read?
एतावत्यैव शुश्रूषा आर्यापीतरिपुत्रके
बाढमिति अनुमन्येता गौरवेण गुरोर्वचः. Etavati, to this extent, eva, exactly, shushrusha, service, karya, ought to be rendered, itari, to the father, putrakaye, by the sons, badham iti, accepting, yes sir, anumanyeta, he should obey, gauruvena, with due deference, guru, of the guru, vachah, commands. This is a very beautiful verse, one of my most favorite verse, very touching to the heart. The first time, I still remember, first time I heard it from Radheshyam Prabhu. We were having some camp was there in Kolkata. There From Kamak Street, we go, there is one school there behind. Huh? Abhinav Bharati School. So there, Prabhuji was taking class. It was hot inside and everyone was sweating. And that time, Prabhuji recited this verse and spoke the translation and the purport when he read. I still remember I could not sit there after I heard this. I went outside and I started going back and forth. It touched me so much, you know. I was feeling now to hear anything else will be a distraction from this, powerful point which I have heard. I want to absorb it to my heart. I want to sink it to my heart. And I went on contemplating on it. What a beautiful verse. Exactly as if, this is what exactly I'm looking for. This is what exactly I was looking for. It was very wonderful. So therefore, uh, I thought maybe we'll discuss this on this. So I keep discussing. I might have taken more than 100 classes on this verse. 100 because this is so touching to the heart. So that's why whenever I get an opportunity, I keep discuss this. So this verse says, Etavatyaiva susrusha. The moment he hears, susrusha matlab he hears, he get to hear. Etavatyaiva. The moment he get to hear, karya pitari putrikai. The services given by pitari putrikai, given by father to the son. Basically, here the father and son is written, indicating a guru and the disciple. The moment a disciple hears that his Guruji has given some services to him. So, what is the response of an ideal disciple? What is the response of a sincere student? Badhamiti. This Badhamiti is a Sanskrit word, and its English translation is yes, sir. What is that? No, not like this. Like this. There's a difference between the two. So, Badhamiti. The moment he get to hear some service has come from the Guru's lotus feet mouth, he jump from his seat, shouting loudly, yes, sir! Yeah. So, now he has no opportunity or no chance to think whether I can do it or not, or somebody else is there to do it or not, or whether the service is possible or not. He has no opportunity, he has no option other than to say, yes, sir. Practice it. Maybe in today's class you have to chant it 108 times. So, Badhamiti Anumanyeta. So now he says, not only that he says, yes, sir, and then he does nothing. No. He says, Gauravena. With great determination, he go forward with all his heart, with all his mood, with all his consciousness. Gurur Vacha, to fulfill the words of his Guru. Taking it as the instruction of the Guru. You go forward with great determination, with great force. Gauravena. Gurur Vacha. You go forward, not just by saying yes, sir, and then go to sleep. Not like that. So, isn't it very beautiful verse? Radha Shampru said that time that you just go to the folio and type yes, sir, and you'll get this verse. Means what? And in entire Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, anywhere you go in the folio, the yes, sir word comes only in this translation, nowhere else. And just see the glories of Srila Prabhupada, this gives me even more ecstasy. What a modern Acharya we have got, Who can translate Badhamiti as yes, sir? If some normal person would be there, he will tell, he should tell, yes, I'll do the service, this, that. Prabhupada writes it like in a, the military army man. Yes, sir. Why Srila Prabhupada writes it like that? Why he can think like this? Why he can think like this? Because he himself is a walking example of this, practice. And that you can learn by reading the purport. What a purport Prabhupada has written. It's a small purport. But only, only Srila Prabhupada will have right to write a purport like this. None of us can write like this or say like that. Why? Let us read. Two words in this verse are very important. One word is Pitari and another word is Guru. The son or the disciple should accept the words of his spiritual master and father without hesitation. So he should accept the words of his guru without hesitation. There should not be any hesitation. If guru says this is not the day, this is night. One should not think, how can you tell this is not? There is a sun outside it. How can it be day? No, he has to accept it without. Believe me, guru will never tell like that. He will always tell that which is absolute truth. He is never going to tell. It's just an extreme example which I'm saying. Like, he's not going to say anything like that. But the point is, there should not be any hesitation. If we are not able to understand, then the doubt should be on our own intelligence, not that on the words of the guru. Doubt should be on our own intelligence. We have to search somewhere there is problem here, not somewhere there is a problem, or we should not challenge him that what kind of instruction you are giving. How is that possible? This is impossible. Not like that. Without hesitation, he should accept. Whatever the father and the spiritual master order should be taken without argument. Yes. Prabhupada again writes under inverted comma. What he has to tell? Yes. There should be no instance in which the disciple or the son says, this is not correct. I cannot carry it out. There should be no instance. He has no right. There cannot be any situation where he can tell, no, this is not correct. Yeah, this idea is not good. I have a better idea. There is no instance where he can say, this is not correct or I cannot carry it out. He cannot say. उसका ऑप्शन ही नहीं है. जैसे ब्रिटिशर्स के समय में ना, देयर यूज्ड टू बी वन दास प्रथा, दास प्रथा. बाद में उसको ब्रह्म समाज ने आके उन सब लोगों को हटाया. तो क्या होता था इस दास प्रथा में? You can sell the persons, as a das. Somebody can purchase the lower class of people, they'll purchase as a das. And once somebody purchase a das, then they will put one stamp, hot burning stamp. Permanently, it will be printed that he is a das of so and so. He is printed. So now, what does exactly this mean? That means if you have purchased some das, you have the right to the extent you can even cut his throat right in the middle of the street. Nobody can tell you anything. This person loses all his human rights. The owner can do anything with him. Whatever he wants, to the extent he can exploit him. Because he is now a sold out servant. Nobody can interfere how the master is treating with the servant. That was such a dangerous pratha which was going on. But believe me, when we tell das, this is exactly what das means. Prabhupada, very in a coward way, is telling us, no, you're just a servant, don't worry. Exactly das means this. To this extent also, if it is exploited, you will not even tell anything. You'll just tolerate and continue. So that's exactly the das. So, can a das tell, no, I cannot do it? No, he cannot do. He's a sold out servant. He has to do it. So, whole day this das will do services, and then in the night when his boss is sleeping, in those days there were no fans. So there will be one big, the cloth type of thing will be hanging, and there will be string like that. And this das will whole night, he will keep moving the whole thing so that his boss can sleep whole night peacefully. And he will keep doing like this, and he will doze in between, and he will do this. Whole night he has to keep doing so that the boss can sleep. And the whole day also he has to work. He has no time to sleep also. But he cannot say anything. He cannot run away. Nobody can help him. He has to continue like that whole life. Like that, many people have continued and died also. So this das, this servant, has no way telling, I cannot do this. So that's how, however, the spiritual master is not so hard-hearted that he will tell you to do something like that. But I'm telling the disciples should have a consciousness like this. If it is required, he's ready to go to this extent. So, in no instance, a disciple of the Son can say, "This is not correct. I cannot carry it out." Just see that line after this, Prabhupada writes. When he says that, he is gone. He is fallen. The moment he say, "I cannot, I cannot do it." You know, when you get a service, when you are staying together here, you get the service. You know, sometime you all are very nice devotee here, but sometimes somewhere you will find some devotees are like kamchor. They just don't want to do any service. So they will have hundreds of excuses. Raj Shampru say, they will chant 15 rounds, but they'll keep one round remaining. The moment service will come, they will show their beadback. Round is remaining from. And whole day they will keep showing like that. And in the night they'll go to bed, they'll chant one round and sleep immediately. It's time to sleep now. So that they can escape the services somehow. So then according to Prabhupada, such devotees comes in the category of fallen souls. So when he says that he is fallen. The father and the spiritual master are on the same platform because the spiritual master is the second father. So the higher classes are called Dvija, twice born. Whenever there is a question of birth, there must be father. So the first birth is made possible by the actual father, and the second birth is made possible by the spiritual master. So now, Prabhupada is not talking about the modern father who has no knowledge about what is soul, what is body, what is self-realization, no knowledge of Gita, Bhagavad, spirit, matter, nothing. But the father who is on the platform of Guru, their instructions are really very important. So, in case of Prabhupada, his father was also as good as a spiritual master because he was also very self-realized. So sometimes the father and the spiritual master may be the same man. Just like Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, not officially, but his father was also as good as spiritual master only. And sometimes they are different men. In any case, the order of the father or the order of the spiritual master must be carried out without hesitation and with immediate. थोड़ा डाउन हो जा रहा है, थोड़ा सा बना के रखना है. So there should be no argument. कोई और है क्या, कोई और कर सकता है क्या, वह देख लीजिए कोई नहीं करेगा तो मैं कर देता हूँ. नो सच काइंड ऑफ आर्ग्यूमेंट्स, नो इफ एंड बट. उसके पास कोई ऑप्शन ही नहीं है. With immediate yes, there should be no argument. That is real service to the father and to the spiritual master. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has stated that the order of the spiritual master is the life and soul of the disciple. Do you understand what does it mean? The order of the spiritual master is the life and soul of the disciple. Means what? Means just can you separate the soul from the life? Can you separate soul from life? This is soul and this is life. Soul means life. You cannot separate it. You cannot separate sun from its light. If sun is there, light has to be there. Similarly, you cannot separate disciple from the instruction of his spiritual master. If disciple is there, that means spiritual master's instruction is there. If his spiritual master's instruction is not there, then there is no reason for this disciple to exist in this material world. Do you understand? This is what exactly this means, this line. If there is no instruction in the life of a disciple, he has no right to live. Then why is he living? He's just a moving corpse here and there. He's a dead man. The life which gives life, which is there to this disciple, what gives life to him? The order of the spiritual master. If that is not there, he's a dead man. That adds life to the disciple. That's what this means. So as a man cannot separate his life from his body, a disciple cannot separate the order of the spiritual master from his life. Actually, this is the only reason a disciple lives in this world. Now you see, generally when You come to Krishna consciousness in the beginning, we are very much self-conscious because that's how people live in this world. You know how this father can help me, how this mother can help me, how this college can help me, how this mall can help me, how this girl can help me, how this mobile can help me, how this laptop can help me. Me. I am the center, and this whole world is meant for me. You know. But when it comes to Krishna consciousness, this is okay for the beginning phase in the neophyte stage, just like a small kid is there. This kid is also thinking like that only, you know, this toy will give me happiness. This mother should be for me. This father should take care of me. This that me. This home is for me. ये मेरे खाने के लिए, ये मेरे सोने के लिए, मेरे को सब कुछ पहले चाहिए. Everything I need, It's okay. It's allowed for him to think like that. But as he grows, now अब वो बड़ा हो गया. वो एक गधा बन गया एकदम 20 साल का. Should he think like that again? Should he keep thinking like that? है ना, माँ खा रही है जाके उसके प्लेट से छीन के खा लेगा वो. नहीं, पहले मैं खाऊंगा. Can he do like that? No. When he is growing, that means now he has to take responsibility. He has to now slowly push himself back and put everyone else at the front. Okay, my parents is the first priority. Let them be happy. I will work hard for them. Let them be take care. So that means the boy has become now responsible. Similarly, when we come to Krishna consciousness in the beginning, we might be looking, this chanting is not giving me happiness. This process is somehow, I'm not getting that level of ecstasy. I am not feeling so, I am feeling I am missing something when I am staying here. Yes, you are missing the kick of Maya. You know? So, I am, keep going like that. But the level which Srila Prabhupada is talking here, a disciple is supposed to come to this level, where now he is living, he is breathing also only for the satisfaction of his. If a spiritual master is feeling difficulty because of your breathing, a disciple should stop breathing also. Yes, you should stop breathing also if he is feeling disturbed from my breathing. That should be the consciousness and attitude of a disciple. That means now you have properly got trained. See, mind it. I am not talking about a level of a pure devotee. Don't think these are very high level of a pure devotee. No. People have practiced it, and there are examples people practicing on this level. It's not a very high-fi. If you are very sincere, you can easily practice this level. If you really have attraction and love for a spiritual master, and you want to come to this level, easily it can be done. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is giving a wonderful example. Life and soul cannot be separated. Similarly, the instruction cannot be separated from the life of the disciple. If a disciple follows the instruction of the spiritual master in that way, he is sure to become perfect. Yeah. What does it mean? Sure to become perfect? You have heard in DYS, or if you have not heard while hearing, you must have heard while giving. DYS, that we all have 4 defects. Not only this place, in many other places in the purport, Srila Prabhupada clearly writes, if a disciple is sincerely following the spiritual master and serving him with great awe and reverence, he will be free from all these 4 defects. And being free from 4 defects means becoming perfect. He's sure to become perfect. That means what? You will not get illusioned. What does it mean? Even while you are walking in the middle of the street and a very beautiful young girl looks at you and a smile, you will not be illusioned. You will not be illusioned. Why? Because you are strongly connected to the spiritual master's instruction. Then you will not be illusioned. You understand? This is illusion. But who will get illusioned? Who has no purpose, who has no instruction of the Guru. Rai Shampru says, a disciple means he would be haunted by the instruction and hunting for the services. Haunted by instruction and hunting for services. What does this mean? You have seen a man haunted by a ghost? Have you ever seen a man haunted by a ghost? He will not behave normally. He will behave very abnormally. A woman is haunted by a ghost, will start speaking like a man. So once one of our devotees' sister was haunted by a ghost. So we were taking her to so many places for the treatment. So there is a place in Rajasthan called Mehndipur. Huh? You have seen? They know. My Lord, I request each one of you, you go to Vrindavan or not, but go one step. You know, you will understand. There is God. There is a spirit soul. You'll understand. My Lord, it's a hub of people haunted by the ghost. If you walk there, somebody is shouting, like that, somebody is there, somebody like that. The way you will know, there was one man. He was climbing the tree, and his parents will pull him from downside. He will again come back. Again after some time he'll go. Again he will come. He'll keep climbing again and again. And there is another man. He's rolling on the ground. He's just rolling and rolling and keep on rolling. Come on, going there, again going here, coming there, coming. For next 2-3 hours, they kept rolling. You know, there was another woman. This big hall. From one corner, she come running, and then she takes one. So क्या बोलते हैं? Gulati. Like that, she will take one gulati and go to the another corner, and again come running and take another gulati, come to one corner, and again there. 2 hours I was standing and observing. Well, my 16 hours got over, but her gulati was not over. I was surprised from where these people are getting strength. मैं तो 2 बार करूंगा हाफने लग जाऊंगा. You know, this is a proof they have been haunted by someone external force. Internally, they don't have strength to do like that. What not? The way, we stayed there for 3 days. I got a complete faith, There is a God, there is a spirit soul, and after death, you have to go somewhere, It was such a heavy experience. And so many people are getting treated. It is said that Hanumanji with his gada, he keeps beating the ghost and remove the ghost from his body. Like that they do. And there are many miraculous things. If I start explaining, we'll divert from this topic. But all of you will believe that these topics are very interesting, Topic of ghost and all. But we'll not go into it. Sometime you meet me personally, I'll tell you. So, so when a person is haunted, then he doesn't behave the way he is. He only behaves the way ghosts want him to behave. He will only speak the way ghosts want him to speak. He will only act the way ghosts want him to act. Exactly in the same way, if a person is haunted by the instruction, he is not able to think anything else other than the instruction of his spiritual master. So that's what exactly it means here. I follow the instructions of the spiritual master in that way is sure to become perfect. This is confirmed in the Upanishad. The import of Vedic instruction is revealed automatically only to one who has implicit faith in the Supreme Son of Godhead and is a spiritual master. Can you tell me the verse? Anybody knows? What is this verse? What is this verse talks about? Yes, correct. Okay. Something, he remembers something. Yes, Deve, Para Bhakti, Yatha Deve, Yatha Guru. Asya Vahi, Kathita Yartha, Prakashante Mahatma. Once, one disciple went to Srila Prabhupada and asked, Srila Prabhupada, you have gone through Srimad Bhagavatam, you have gone through Bhagavad Gita, you have gone through Chaitanya Charitamrita. What is your most favorite verse? That one verse which is most favorite and close to your heart. And Prabhupada recited this verse. This is not from any of these three things. This is from, I think, Shvetashvara Upanishad. And Prabhupada recited this. And why this is Prabhupada's favorite verse, you can also understand that Prabhupada keep reciting it in many places. Now, what does this verse means? If you have an implicit faith on your spiritual master and Krishna, all the imports of the Vedic literatures are automatically revealed in your heart. Getting sometime you will see there are illiterate person who doesn't know how to read and write. They can't read Gita and Bhagavatam. But still, all the imports and the Vedic literatures, whatever the principle it says, they are very nicely following. How they came to know without reading? Because they have an implicit faith on the spiritual master and Krishna. So these things are automatically revealed in their heart. Have you read salted bread? You have read? You have read Sagar? Some of you have read. You should read it, Not compromising with Prabhupada books. After you finish your quota, you should read it parallelly. It's a very beautiful book. So there you will find there were some devotees. They were caught by the communists and they were put inside the jail for lifetime. They are inside the jail, but even inside the jail, they are practicing Krishna consciousness. How they would chant? They were not having beads. So all throughout the day, they will get only 2 pieces of bread. So they will soak this bread in water and they will make small balls and they will keep it in the window so that it dries. After it dries, it becomes hard. Then they will get the blanket to sleep in the night. From that blanket, they will pull out one thread. And all this ball, they will tie in the thread. And they'll make this small beads. And on that, they will chant. That means if they have to make beads, they have to compromise that day with their food. They can't eat anything because that food they made beads, no? So, and then if these people, KGB people, if they will catch, they will snatch away these beads. Again, they will have to fast and make another bead to chant on the holy name. Like that, they were practicing. You read that, you will realize, how comfortable you are while practicing Krishna consciousness and what struggle they had. So they were not having any access to Srila Prabhupada books, in Russia. No access to Prabhupada books while they were in the jail. So one devotee was on the first floor, another devotee was in the jail in the ground floor. So the ground floor was the new one. The first floor one was preaching him to the ground floor one. आपको समझ आ रहा है? ऊपर फ्लोर में है, ये नीचे फ्लोर में, वो ऊपर से बोलता था, ये नीचे बैठ के सुनता था. They're not able to see also each other. And he's shouting from their Krishna Katha and he's hearing from downstairs and he's chanting and becoming devotee. Just see the preaching. See the preaching spirit. And then this devotee has so much eager to make him devotee. He would not know क्या बोलना है मुझे, क्योंकि उसने तो पढ़ा नहीं ज्यादा कुछ, तो जेल में है. But he wanted him to become devotee. The sincere desire to make him devotee as a service to Srila Prabhupada, he starts speaking Krishna Katha speculation. All speculation. भगवान ऐसे होते हैं, एक बार ऐसा किया, भगवान एक बार वैसा किया. To his surprise, when they were released from the jail, when he read actual Krishna book, exactly the same pastimes. Exactly the same pastimes. He could recite. This is a proof of this verse. That all the imports of Vedic literature are automatically revealed in the heart of a disciple who has implicit faith on the Guru and the Krishna. That's what. So Prabhupada speaks it many places. Now, after you have read this whole purport, okay, let me complete last line. One may be materially considered an illiterate man, but if he has faith in the spiritual master as well as in the supremacy of Godhead, then the meaning of the scriptural revelation is immediately manifested before him. Can you give some example? All of you know. South Indian Brahman, Pakka, very nice. So this South Indian Brahman, he was holding Bhagavad Gita ulta. So सीधा उल्टा में भी फर्क नहीं है उसको. But you see, he's crying. He's crying, seeing Krishna is becoming the charioteer of his devotee. And Mahaprabhu became so happy, he embraced him, saying, you don't need to read. After reading what is to be achieved, you have already achieved. And Mahaprabhu was so happy. So he was an illiterate man, but the import of the Vedic literature was revealed to him. So, now when you have read this whole purport, do you agree? Such purports only Srila Prabhupada can write. Only he has right to write like this. Because each one of the line, you can quote example of Prabhupada. For each line, he has taken the instruction of the spiritual master as life and soul. He is the one, the moment he received the instruction from his spiritual master that go outside and preach Krishna consciousness, what Srila Prabhupada said?
Yes, sir.
Loudly.
Yes, sir.
That's what he said, no? And then he did it. And he did it. So only he has the right to write all these things. The one who has implicit faith, all the Vedic literature will be revealed. Yes. He was a walking Bhagavad. So all the Vedic literature's imports were revealed in him. The essence and everything was revealed to him. And he was such a wonderful example for him. So I feel sometimes very surprised. Many purports, many commentaries on this Bhagavatam is available in the market. When such verses would be coming, don't this commentator feel ashamed to write anything on this comment? Just by reading this, they should stop writing any comment because they have not acted on this level. How can they write a comment on this? They have not acted on this, but they are writing all the big commentaries. Only Prabhupada has the right to comment like this, and the commentary to give commentaries like this. What a beautiful purport and beautiful verse. So, actually, this should be our aspiration. This should be our goal that may someday we come to this level. So, you all must have heard the story of Aruni, no? Aruni, you must have heard. What a wonderful disciple he was. So, let us analyze this same story again. So, one fine morning, it was evening time. The evening class was going on. And inside the Gurukula ashram, inside the hut, small hut, all the disciples are sitting. And Guruji is very gentle, humble, simple, very loving, caring, and giving some classes, discourses. All the disciples were hearing. Right then, this ashram was there in the middle of the forest. And right then, there was heavy rain outside. And this Gurukul, how do they maintain themselves? They don't get salary or anything. So they maintain themselves by having their own field. And these all the Gurukulis, they would do farming, they would go to the forest, they will bring the wood and everything. They would maintain. So now because of the heavy rain, the field which they had, they may get spoiled. So the Guruji just looked at the Aruni and said, Aruni, can you see if the water is not entering into the field? What he said?
Yes, sir.
This Aruni, before the Guru's instruction got over, he was out. He was out. Now, just imagine, it was raining heavily outside. If you and I will be there, what we will do? Guruji, it's raining heavily. Do you really want me to go? Can we have some umbrella or something? Nothing. This Aruni ran like a madman. Ran like a madman. This I have not heard in our parampara, but in other parampara, I have heard like this. This Rupa Goswami, when he was working for this Nawab Hussain Shah, when he was working as a prime minister for him, so in his heart there was always a lurking. I don't want to do all these things. I want to practice Krishna consciousness. What am I doing? I am serving a Shudra. I am serving a Yavana. I want to practice Krishna consciousness. But still, he was not getting any opportunity, any ways how to come out of it. But when he would work, because he was very sincere, he would be very absorbed and work very nicely. So one day, while working, he got very tired. So he told to his servant, can you get me some juice or something? I need to drink something. So he went, instead of adding sugar, it was dark, so he added maida in that. Instead of adding sugar, he gave maida and gave Rupa Goswami. So Rupa Goswami, while working for the Nawab, he drank the whole juice. And later, in the daytime, later in the night time, this servant came and started crying. Rupa Goswami, what happened? He said, I forgot to put sugar. Instead of sugar, I kept maida. Rupa Goswami said, really? Why didn't I realize this? And then he felt, my Lord, where am I going? I am getting more and more absorbed in materialistic thing. When will I get relieved from this? And he started crying and he said, I'll have to do something now. Right then he heard Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come there. And then he himself, along with the Sanatan, they ran to meet this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So I heard it in another parampara, not in our parampara. But the lesson to learn from this is, even on the material platform, you will find people to get absorbed. So much absorbed. What to talk of if somebody is absorbed fulfilling the instruction of the spiritual master? So this Aruni, when he is running to fulfill the spiritual master, he is not able to realize the obstacles and the problems which are coming on the way. Isn't it? Keep your hand like this. Your eyes and between me, your hand should be there. Now, in between fingers, look at me. Okay? Now look at the lines on your hand. Now again, in between fingers, look at me. Now keep your hand down. So when you were looking at me, were you able to see the lines? No. When you were looking at the lines, were you able to see me? Now suppose I am the goal of your life. I don't mind to be that. You know? Now suppose I am the goal of your life. And these are the obstacles. The moment your focus is on the goal, will these obstacles disturb you? It will not be even visible to you. It will not be even visible to you. But you are disturbed by the obstacles. Why? Because you are distracted from the goal. Because goal is not in focus. When goal is not focus, then a small problem disturbs you. You know, अरे यहाँ बहुत गर्मी है, अरे यहाँ खिचड़ी बन रहा है केवल, अरे यहाँ पे ये प्रॉब्लम है, वो प्रॉब्लम है, ऐसा है, वैसा है. All these problems will, even small problems will disturb you. But I have seen who is focused for the goal. Recently, I was hearing Rajesh Ambrose telling a dancer never complains about the stage, and a preacher never complains about the situation. No? What a heart-touching statement it was, isn't it? So similarly, a disciple never complains about the situation to fulfill the spiritual master's instruction. Like you see, Aruni. He did not even worry to put slippers on his feet. He ran like that, like a madman, without considering छाता चाहिए या रास्ते में अंधेरा होगा लालटेन लेके जाते हैं या anything else. Nothing. And he was out. And Guruji continued giving his classes. And after the class got over, it was late night. Everyone took dinner and slept. Next day morning, when Guruji came for Mangal Aarti, and he saw Aruni is missing. It was his turn to sing Mangal Aarti. He's not there. So Guruji asked, "Where is Aruni?" So everyone looking at each other. Then one said, "Guruji, you sent him. Last time we saw that he went to the field to see the water is not entering into the field." Really? He didn't come after that? Nobody's saying anything. Nobody knows. Where is he? It seems Guruji didn't come after that. What? How is it possible? Now, to the extent Aruni loves to the spiritual master, no? His Guru, 100 times more, his Guruji loves his disciple. Without caring. Now, if Guruji can tell, no? His whole stout, strong disciples are there. He can tell, go, find out, where is he? He didn't do that. He personally took the lantern. He was an old man. Personally took the lantern and ran in the middle of the forest, shouting, and all around Kichad and everything. And his Guruji is falling and again getting up. Aruni! Aruni! Can you imagine his love for the spiritual master? And then when he goes there, what is he seeing? Such a surprising scene. Now, what the Aruni did, when he went in the night, so he saw that there is this fence around the field, So one portion of the fence was broken and some water was entering. That time water flow was not so strong, And so he thought, I'll just cover it and come. Now you see, if somebody else would be there, उसको तो गुरुजी ने बोला था कि जाओ जरा देखो खेत में पानी तो नहीं घुस रहा है, तो वापस आ जाता. गुरुजी मैंने देख लिया पानी घुस रहा है. आपने देखने बोला था ना, आपने करने तो नहीं बोला. Sometimes in our IVF we have devotees like that, it becomes very surprised. They don't understand the intent of the instruction, उसको बोला देख के आने तो देख के आ जाएगा. But Aruni was having this common sense. So he started putting mud and to cover, But the slowly water flow increased, and again it got broken. Again he kept, again it broken. After doing 2, 3, 4 times, 5 times, so we are very sincere. We did it. We did 4 times, 5 times, 10 times, 15 times. After that, what we'll do? We'll come back and we'll tell Guruji, you just told me to see. I even tried stopping that. But I tried 1 time, 2 times, 10 times. What's not happening, Guruji? What can be done? So I came back. But Aruni was not like that. He said, better I will give my life fulfilling the instruction of the spiritual master, but I will not turn my back unless I fulfill the instruction of my spiritual master. My dear friends, it's not about just stopping the water. It's not about that. It's about fulfilling the instruction of spiritual master. Try to understand. I am talking about the attitude. I'm not talking about the activities. If one has this attitude, whether it is to stop water or whether it is to preach Krishna consciousness in the whole world, both are same. There is no difference in the details. But this attitude is what is the most important part. And this attitude was there with Aruni. So, not only that, after putting 10, 15, 20 times, he kept himself, he lied down in that place. And the water flow was so strong, it was gushing like anything, and he fell down. Again getting up and sleeping there, again falling down, again come. Even then he could have come back. Even then he could have come back and saw everybody sleeping. Okay, let me also sleep. Tomorrow I will tell to Guruji. He didn't do that. Even he could have thought, खेत में तो पानी घुस गया, खेत तो खराब हो ही गया, अब क्या फायदा पानी रोक के, जाने दो, कल देखा जाएगा. That's how we will think. Let us think practical, Prabhu. Be practical. But where there is surrender, where there is dedication, there is no question of practical thinking. There is no question of practical thinking. There is only thinking, there is only madness, there is only blindness to fulfill the instruction. Now, you heard the name of Jatayu? Jatayu? This Jatayu was lying down. He was very old man, old bird, lying down. He was holding on to his breath. He's holding on to his pranavayu because he was told that Lord Ram will pass from here. So he was just holding on with a desire ki once I will have his darshan, then I'll give up my life. And he was lying down. He was not having even a strength to fly in the sky. Right then, and he was waiting for years that Lord Ram will pass from. Right then, before Lord Ram came, what he saw? Ravana is kidnapping Sita and flying in the Pushpak Viman. He's taking away. Now, if you think practically, he could have thought, anyway, I am an old man. How can I fight this Ravana? Better let me lie down here. When Ram will come, I will tell. Ravana has taken him here. Practically, let us be practical. Moreover, he could have thought, इतना साल से वेट कर रहा हूं राम के लिए. I cannot give up my life fighting with this Ravan. I will wait till Ram come. At least मेरा पर्पस तो पूरा होना चाहिए. If he kills me, जो इतना साल से वेट कर रहा हूं वो कैसे पूरा होगा फिर? This is what practical and logical mind is telling. This is not the way. Where there is love, logic doesn't work. Where there is a love, there logic doesn't work. Out of love, this Jatayu could not hold on himself. He collected all his energy, all his strength, and flew in the sky. And he started fighting with Ravana. I can't bear you taking Sita like this. And he fought. Ravana was feeling, Are Baapre. He's fighting as if he'll really kill me. At last he took out his sword and cut one of his wing. Now imagine, with one wing, one side completely blooded, is falling from the sky down to the earth. And with one wing. Now also he could have thought practically. At least now he should think practically. What is the use? With one wing, how can I fight? Better let us hold my life and wait for Ram to come. No logic works. I better die. But I can't see with my eyes Sita going like this. And with one wing is flying and fighting with Ravana. Can you imagine? This is to the extent a disciple is supposed to develop love for his guru. To this extent. And that was there with Aruni. Now, whole night, it doesn't work like a logic, नहीं काम कर रहा है तो निकल आओ ना. Do something else. No, logic doesn't work. Whole night he kept doing this. And just imagine when his guru came, all the disciples running from behind. When the guru saw this, he threw away all, and his guru's whole cloth is dirty and mud and all, everything. He threw all the laltan and all. He ran to Aruni, embraced him tightly and kept crying for hours together. He did not leave him. He said, my dear Aruni, let whole world forget me. Let whole world forget this ashram. But you will never be forgotten. Whenever there is a guru-disciple discussion coming, your example will be surely chanted till the time this universe exists. This is the Ashirwad given. Until that we are discussing. Till that we are discussing. Aruni said such a wonderful example of an ideal disciple. And this verse he really practiced, isn't it? He really practiced. अब लॉजिकली देखा जाए तो खेत तो खराब हो गया है, फील्ड तो खराब हो गया है. तो गुरु जी थॉट, अरे क्या फायदा तेरी मेहनत करने का, फिर खेत तो खराब हो गया है. He could have thought like that. But it's not that. It's not about field. This attitude was what touching to the heart of the spiritual master. What a disciple. Guruji, the blessing is pouring out from his heart. Like we go, Prabhu, please bless me. Prabhu, please bless me. You don't get blessing like this. Do something like this. The blessing will get attracted to you. The Guruji will be forced to give you blessing. That's why Prabhupada used to say, this is our parampara, this is our line. All acharyas have followed this attitude. That's why Prabhupada said, no, never try to see Krishna. Serve in such a way, Krishna would like to see you. What does this mean? Krishna will be forced to give you blessing. Serve in such a way. That is our parampara, that is our attitude, that is our vision, that is our mood. When we practice Krishna consciousness, this should be our aspiration. And you may say, Prabhuji, I don't have access to my Guru, how to get his instruction and all. Okay, you will get to access. Someday you will get that also. But till the time you get that, at least do some net practice. Till the time you are given to perform in the main field, at least do some net practice. For net practice, you have Nimanand through here. You have many Shiksha Gurus, you have many counselor, mentors, your superiors, your elders. Try fulfilling their instruction in this mode. And once you are qualified, Krishna will arrange your association with your spiritual master. That day you will get instruction from him also. But till the time you become qualified, how will you get closer to him? He will give instruction and you will do if
Who is speaking? Life is personification. Who is speaking? Life is personification of that kind of meditation. Who then shared any of his personal life constantly. His life pastimes are filled with this kind of meditation. Aruni and Jatayu, when a devotee really keeps aside everything, keeping aside on practicalities simply for the service of the devotees. Yes, that's the same.
Thank you for wonderful class. So, sometimes this mentality comes of settling down also, like after getting passing out and thinking about own family and settling down. कि अभी ठीक है, अभी भक्ति हो गया, बस maintain कर लेते हैं. So, how to have this mentality of preaching spirit and this missionary spirit? How to have this?
Actually, you see, this whole Srimad Bhagavatam, which we read, which we hear, its only purpose is to change our mentality. Its only purpose is to change our intent. That's why the moment we hear how Dhruv Maharaj was so determined, I would also be determined to practice Krishna consciousness. So that's how in association of Srimad Bhagavatam with each and every character, slowly, our desire changes. That's what is called purification. It has to take place if you sincerely take association. Just like in Srimad Bhagavatam, there are many characters after hearing whose lifestyle and whose activities, your desire to practice Krishna consciousness is increasing. Similarly, those dedicated Bhagavatas who have given their life as a missionary, you hear about them, you associate with them, you listen to their activities, that will change our mentality. That changes our intent. That changes our consciousness. And we aspire also, we will also become like that. Even in material circle, it works like that. I remember I was young, so my friend used to drag me to watch movies. I would go to watch movie, and Akshay Kumar would be my favorite, hero. And when he will do some actions, I would be jumping in the chair. Wow, what an action hero is! Then I'll come back to my home, and when my father and mother would not be there in the home, then I'll do all those actions. I'll jump on the bed, and then I'll try to wear like him and try to put my hairs also like that. From where this mentality came? From where? Because I saw someone and I got inspired. When I saw a wrong example as getting inspired, why will not be inspired by seeing a right example? Why will I not be inspired by seeing a right example? So, and our scriptures are filled with wonderful right examples, filled with so many innumerable examples. Like, this salted bread. I was telling you, you read it. If tears doesn't come from your eyes, you let me know. What a missionary personalities, and what dedicated. What to talk of thinking about their own maintenance. They were risking their life for preaching Krishna consciousness. Amazing. So when you go through all this wonderful personality, their lifestyle, when you hear, when you discuss, when you speak to others, then eventually you also become the same. It is not that I have to think to be missionary. I have to think, nahi, nahi, ye nahi, aisa karna chahiye. It's not like that. When you more and more hear, no, that becomes your nature. You cannot think other than like that. उसके अलावा दूसरी चीज आप सोच ही नहीं पाते हैं, आपका सोच ही वैसा, that becomes a pattern of your thinking. When you, just like in science you read, no, the iron piece, it has the domains in a different direction. But moment it comes in touch with that magnet, all the domains become unidirectional. Again you separate it, again it becomes in different direction. Keep bringing in touch again and again. Eventually you see, in this iron also all domains become unidirectional. This is what is exactly our process. Even in material field, we see systems are working like this. So why will it not work like that? So we also have, our domains are right now in all multidirectional. Let us bring ourselves in touch with such wonderful personality and eventually bring it again and again. It becomes unidirectional. We also start thinking in the same missionary mode in that way only. That's how it happens. There you go. Some people are God gifted, right from the childhood they have this attitude, but this attitude can be developed eventually by coming in touch with such personalities. Some magnets are naturally found, but some irons, by coming in touch with the magnet, becomes magnet. Like, okay. Anything else? I'll tell you one more small story. Small, material story, but it's a good inspiration. You must have heard also. In Africa, there was one family. There was this father. He was very poor, very, very poor. Even they were not having food to eat in the home. And this father was having 4 or 5 sons. But one of the youngest son, his name was Mike. So his father called once Mike. There was a lot of poverty in the home. There was no food to eat. He called Mike, and there was old T-shirt in the home. So he showed to the Mike, how much will it cost? So I'm telling in Indian language. So Mike said, father, new one costs 500, it's old one, probably 200. So he told, take this T-shirt and sell it out somewhere in the 200 rupees. We need money. Now the problem with this Mike was, he was just a 12, 14-year-old boy. The problem with this Mike was, he was not able to tell no. Whenever instruction comes, he had only thing to tell,
Yes, sir.
this was the problem with the Mike. So the moment father told 200, sell it out, he did not think, I don't have any shop. Who will purchase old T-shirt? I am a 14-year-old boy. This, that. No ifs and buts. He took the T-shirt and went on roaming around the city. All throughout the day. 8 hours in the hot sunny day, he kept roaming around. And at the end, near station, he could sell it out in 200. He sold it out and he brought and gave to father. Father was so happy. Somehow home was maintained for some time. Again after a week, father called him, Mike, how much this T-shirt will cost? This T-shirt was new T-shirt. Mike said, father, 500 rupees. He said, go and sell it out in 500 rupees. The problem with the Mike was, whenever father would tell anything, he would tell,
Yes, sir.
he started thinking what to do. Instead of thinking, how can I not do this? He started thinking, how can I do this? What to do? He started thinking, again going 8 hours. No, this time I should do something else. So what he did, he made a beautiful Mickey Mouse photo on that T-shirt. And where all the children of the rich class of people would study in the school, he went outside that school during the chutti time, and he took this T-shirt on a hanger and started shouting to all these children, Mickey Mouse T-shirt, only in 500 rupees, Mickey Mouse T-shirt. So one boy started becoming adamant to his father, I want this T-shirt. Father said, "Beta, I'll get you better than that. Come with me." Then, no, I want this only. Sometimes children have this, no? So father said, okay, come. How much it cost? He said 500 rupees. So he gave him 500, extra 200. Keep it this. No, we are a poor man, keep it. So Mike brought 700 rupees and kept in the hand of father. Father felt, my Lord, what kind of boy is this? He has amazing power. Anyway, again went on for some days. Again, after some time, his father called. Mike, how much this t-shirt cost? Mike said, Father, new t-shirt, 500 rupees. He said, take it, sell it out in 5,000 rupees. Now, any one of us are thinking, how is it possible? It's impractical. But Mike had a problem. What? He took the t-shirt and started thinking, what can be done? It's a true story. What I'm telling is not a made up story, it's a true story. Right then, there was a Hollywood actress, she had come there for some press conference, and he went somehow hiding from the security, stood in front of her, and he said her, I want your autograph here in this t-shirt. So this actress made a big autograph there. He brought a t-shirt in the middle of the market, t-shirt personally signed by the Hollywood actress Sarah, only 5,000 rupees. Another man came, he said, I'll give you 6,000 rupees, give me this. Another came, I'll give you 7,000, I'll give you 8,000. 21,000 rupees, he sold it out. And he brought and kept this money in the hand of the father. Father counted it, father started crying. He said, Mike, you can do impossibles. Somehow you have got the ability to do impossibles. This boy went on becoming Michael Jordan. You know Michael Jordan? He's called God of basketball. So these are the attitude which brings success in life. Even in the material circle. These are the attitude. Even in the material circle. What to talk of? Spiritual circle. If you don't have right outlook, right attitude, how we are expecting to get success in our life? So this attitude is to be developed right at this phase. It's not, again I'm telling, it's not the level of pure devotees I'm saying. Even at this level, such attitude can be developed. It's not so tough. So you must aspire for this level. So this happens by net practice on small instructions. Accept tough instructions. Accept it wholeheartedly, and put your full energy fulfilling that. Don't worry even if you fail 1 or 2 times. But whatever little success you'll make, eventually you'll become qualified to accept even big tough instructions. Srila Prabhupada, his spiritual master, told to preach all around the world, and he preached. So such a tough instruction he accepted. Why? Because right from the childhood he had such an attitude. Right from the childhood he had that mood and attitude. So that attitude must be developed eventually. Then you'll be empowered. You'll get confidence. Yes, I can do some big missionary activities. I can do it. I can put my heart and do it. At least I can give it a try. Eventually it comes like. Hare Krishna. Now, 2 soldiers have already come behind to take me up. I need to end here. Thank you so much for your wonderful association. Again, I'm saying I'm talking the big things. Please pray for me. Someday I come to this level. I have a great aspiration. Whether I go back home back to God or not, I'm not so obsessed about that. But I am obsessed about to come to this level at least, where someday I can do something for Srila Prabhupada at this level at least. Even though, stopping the water from entering into the field. But this attitude is developed, I'll consider my life is successful. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavat Mahapuran ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Jai Gaur Premanande.
Yes, Naam Prabhu ki. Thank Naam Prabhu for really shaking us up, inspiring us to develop a very basic, powerful attitude for dedication. Prabhu himself is a powerful example, as leaving aside all other considerations in life simply for the service of the spiritual master, and to be able to do impossible. As Prabhu was saying that the impossible can become possible if we have this kind of attitude. So that your last example so powerful. Let us hardly thank Prabhuji that he take out his time. I know that here also we have Shyama Kirtan Prabhu, who has come all the way since yesterday he has been coordinating, and he wanted something else, but I took something else from him. I'm so very grateful that Naam Prabhu actually came here and gave his valuable time. He has now class, 2 hours class already, and before that, I just squeezed him a little more. But because of that, now we will be nourished. I think this class, what Prabhu has given, we need to really contemplate on this maybe for, for whole life. That's the best. Because it will take lifetime. It will take lifetime to really come to what Prabhu is telling us and inspiring us. And this is what will make us very dear to Hari Guru and Vaishnavas. And Prabhu is that's why very dear to everyone. He has the ability to please anyone. Very, very difficult authorities, also very difficult to deal. He makes all of them also very happy. And not only just happy, they feel so much trust with him that they give him very big responsibilities. He's really a high class Jain Vaishnava, and this powerful class also we have this now from him. So let us heartily thank His Grace Naam Prabhu by 3 times loudly chanting. This was Prabhu's first visit, and we beg that like this, whenever you come to Kharagpur, he comes to Kharagpur so many times, but actually you don't come here. So whenever you come to Kharagpur, you have to make a point that at least you should come, at least give one class. And one more thing,
Why I don't come? Because Nimayanand Prabhu never came to Dhanbad till now. I kept calling him. When he comes, then I'll come.
Anyways, I want to go to Dhanbad to take association of all the soldiers of Namru. I'll surely go. I'll do that part. That is a price I'll surely pay. And we beg that you will keep coming here. You will really inspire us. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Nimayanand Prabhu is a walking example of whatever I spoke. Just by seeing him, we learn how to be dedicated.
But he is a running example.